Day trading this morning. It's Wednesday morning, February the 13th, and making a trade this morning that I felt pretty good about it. I felt really good about it. I felt like I was in the driver's seat for the entire trade. You know, I really kind of knew where the stock was going, kind of saw the support, the resistance, saw all of that happening, and I ended up taking a little bit of profit out of the market today. I'm going to break down that trade, show you guys the entries, the exits, and all that fun stuff here in a second, so get ready. Let's go. 1. Let me count it down. No, I'm just kidding. Let's go. Before we get into that live trade, do me one big favor, brothers and sisters out there. Help me fight the fight against the dislikers. Hit that like button right now. Just go ahead and hit it. You know you're going to enjoy the video either way. So hit that like button. Leave a comment down below. Let's go. Well, what's going on, guys? It's Wednesday morning, and I'm short here on TEVA right now. You can see TEVA this morning gapping down from the 1970 area down there to 1650. The pre-market low is 1656. So I want to see if we can get this to break down. So we actually broke back below $17 here. We pushed up here to the 17.18, and then now we're kind of skirting along this EMA. I'm thinking if we can break below 16.95, we should start to roll off pretty nicely, get down to the 650 area, 1650 area. So 1650 area is going to be my target on this trade. My stop on this trade is going to be the 1720. So I'm going to risk 20 cents on this trade for the possible 50-60 cent move. And that's the game plan. That's the way we're going to do it today, my friends. I might add a little bit more if it does push back above 17. Add another 500 shares there. But right now, looking like I'm looking for this 1720 area. I like to see $17, that whole dollar area, hold as resistance for a little bit. And then we start to get that roll off down there to the 1650s. This morning, TEVA, like I said, having a little bit of bad news and thinking that we could get a nice little pullback here. Really simple, really easy, just kind of an overall gap down from the 1970 area. And not really much else to say other than we got this big gap down. We got the balance off the 1650 area. You can see on the daily chart we had some previous support there at the 1650 area. 1667, kind of in this area there as it rallied up there to 20. But there's still plenty of downside to go if this does really start to sell off. So I'm thinking, like I said, we can get down here to the $16 area if this shows more weakness, and maybe we'll pull back down to the $16 area here at open if this thing really starts to sell off and pull back here. And looking like we might get going here below 1690 now. You can see on the 1 minute chart had the EMAs kind of supporting it there for a second, and right now kind of losing that support and pulling back down there 1687. Let's see if I can get that move all the way down here to 1650s. That's kind of my first profit target area. All right, so TEVA is slowly heading lower now from that $17 area. And what I'm going to do basically is just kind of put my stop there at the $17 area. 1705 be my stop mentally. So now I'm risking 5 cents here for the same 50-cent move. And I feel pretty good about it. Like I said, I might add some more if this does push back up there towards $17. Add a little bit more there. Looking to have that $17 area kind of act as resistance, that whole dollar area there, $17. I want to see if this is going to kind of act as resistance, kind of short a little bit more into that, and then continue to look for that move down there to the 1650s and possibly lower here at open. Really just kind of feel like I'm in the driver's seat. You know, I feel like I'm driving this trade right now. It's not out of control. I've got the full control here. I feel pretty good about it, and we're going to see if we can get this move down there. Right now, showing a little bit of strength there at the 1685 area, but like I said, I think we can break through there, and we break through 1685. It's probably going to pull back pretty quickly here down there. So just giving it some time, letting this play out. Patience, patience, patience. Feel pretty good. You know, we're risking 5 cents here on this trade for the possible 50-60 cent move. Feel pretty good about it overall. And that's how I should be feeling while I'm in a trade, right? I should be feeling pretty good about it when I'm in a trade. That's basically the feeling that I want. I want to feel like I have control, like I have a solid plan. I got the trade all kind of outlined, and I know what's going to happen either way. You know, if this bounces back, I'm going to get out there at the 1705 area. If it goes lower, I'm going to look to take profit down there at 1650. So feel pretty good, and that's where I want to be at mentally overall, mindset wise. I want my mindset. I got to work on my mindset here, and this is a good trade. I feel like to work on my mindset. We got plenty of liquidity. We got 4.5 million shares traded so far today, and now looking for this to pull back. Obviously, you know, I could have gotten a better entry here at this push up here, kind of as it got overextended. You can see how it got overextended to the upside up there to the 1718 area. Got overextended right there. So this would have been the candle to short into. I was a little late to the party here, and once I saw that it's kind of breaking down below $17, thinking that, hey, let's jump in here and we'll kind of just risk off that 1720 area, and then now I'm going to move my risk down to the 1705, which was the high of this candle, this 1 minute candle there at 1705. So minimizing my risk, minimizing my risk, maximizing my return. Could I take profit right now? Sure, I could take a $100 profit, walk away, but I'm going to be a little bit greedy here today. Look for a little bit more profit and kind of just let this trade play out. You know, in the past, a lot of times I've ended up covering there for a $100 profit and then seeing the trade go another full dollar lower. So that's something I want to work on, something I want to change, and we're going to get an opportunity to do that today, I think. We're going to get the opportunity to do that today. Getting denied there at 1695 again, so that's good to see. You want to see that resistance popping up there when it does try to bounce back. So bouncing back up there above 1690 and then getting denied. Seller stepping in there. And let's see if we can break down here below 1685. I feel really good if this thing can get below 1685, and then it's like I'm in the money there at that point, because then I can really just kind of move my stop down a little bit more and then basically guarantee that I'm going to walk away green on this trade at that point. So let's see if we can get this breakdown here below 1685. Looking for some sellers to step in here. Come on, baby, crack it down there. You know, a little bit of support there at 1685 right now. Some buyers stepping up there. Got a battle going on here. 1685, 1695. Who's gonna win? Are the Bears? Are the Bulls? Basically thinking if we're gonna hold 1685, it's probably gonna rally back up there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move my stop down. I'm going to move it down here to the 1697 just to kind of lock that in there mentally. I'll get covered. I'll get covered, basically cover my commissions on that trade if this does bounce back above 1695. So I'm going to be watching 1695 area if this bounces back as this is holding that 1685 now. Having trouble there at 1690, just not being able to push above 1690. But then pushing back down, getting the buyer stepping in there again. So you can see just a tug of war right now between the Bears and the Bulls. Who's going to win this battle? Are the sellers going to be able to be aggressive enough to push it down? Or the buyers going to be able to step in there? You can see again just bouncing off that 1685 right back up there. If this can't break through 1685 right here, I'm going to get out. Okay. No. Yes, there we go. Okay. Breaking through 1685 there. Beautiful. That's what we were looking for. I'm going to take some off right there at the 1680s. Just to 250 shares there. Just basically guarantee at this point that I'm going to walk away green. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of move my mental stop down here to the 1690 area. 1690 is where I want to be sitting at. So I'm going to put my, I'm going to put just kind of like a hard stop right there. Put a stop out there, hard stop, and now I'm basically guaranteed I'm going to walk away with a minimum of, you know, $60, $70 in profit. So it's a win-win-win at this point. And now I'm just looking to see if we can get that pullback down there below 1650 here before open. What time is it? Got 8:30. So looking for this to keep heading lower. Just going to let this trade work out, do its thing. Give us some time here. And at this point, worst kind of worst. You know, if I don't get the full move that I want to get down there below 1650, I'm still going to walk away with small profit. 500 shares there at 1689, seeing how this 1690 area is once again holding it down there. So 1690 area still holding it down. and ended up adding a little bit right there at 1689, looking for this to get held down there below 1690. So let's see what happens here. I'm just going to pull back down. You can see bounce back pretty quickly from the 1675 back up there to 1692. Let's see if I can get some fill down there in the 1680s. 1683, 1684. Let me see if I can get it. All right, so getting some fill there at 1684. Locking that down. So now I'm up $113 after adding there at the 1690s one more time and taking a small pullback there. So still looking pretty good here. Let's see how this is going to react again at the 1690s. I'm going to move my stop basically right there to kind of break even area there at the 1692. I'm going to put it right there at 1693. So basically I'll end up getting out for break even at that point. So you see 750 shares left there, and just giving it a little bit of time, trying to play this smart. Trying to play it smart, my friends. Bouncing back up there pretty strong. Just doesn't want to get down there. I'm taking another 250 there at 1683. Looks like it wants to bounce right back up here now. Got 500 shares left there at 1691 watching this. Big seller there at 1685 again. Really just a battle here, tug of war. Not liking how this is holding up right now. Even with that big seller flashing there, 1683, it's still holding up there. Which that, you know, I'd look for that big seller to kind of really scare the buyers away, but it's just not doing that. So I'm going to go ahead and lock it down there. TEVA making $212 this morning on a pretty good trade. I felt like I was pretty much in the driver's seat from the beginning, from the start, from the beginning. Never really in the red. Basically felt pretty good overall about it. You can see a bit of volatility here, kind of bouncing there at the 1679. This is going to hold. Oh, it's going to break down. You knew that was going to happen. The moment that I covered is going to break down. The one thing, looking at this now, it's like, you know, we had this big, massive drop down. We bounced off the 1650 area. And, you know, we're not far from that bounce area, that 1650. So we got about 20 cents from there right now. You know, it really didn't get enough bounce back up. So maybe there's just not enough meat left on this bone here. You know, maybe that 1650 is going to be kind of the bottom after this big drop down. Once the market opens, maybe this rallies back. You know, there's always the what ifs. It coulda, shoulda, wouldas. And right now, looking like, let's see, is it going to hold the 1675 area? You can see 1676, 1675 area there. Support. Big spike in volume right there, coming back in there at that 1675 area. So look and see if it's going to bounce back. There's that bounce back. Back above 1680 pretty quickly there. So I feel pretty good about it overall. I felt like I was in the driver's seat from the beginning until the end. So overall, I felt pretty good about it. Like, this is the type of trade, you know. Obviously, I would have loved to have seen it break through that 1680 area and get down in the 1650s. But I managed my risk. I did what I needed to do. I got it done, made a little bit of money. And that's kind of just how it goes sometimes. You know, you got to manage the risk. And I felt like I managed my risk pretty well on this trade. Like I said, I felt pretty just kind of in the zone on this trade in terms of like knowing what I was doing, the plan, the overall just mindset. Felt pretty good with this trade. So there it is, TEVA, Wednesday morning, making a little bit of money this morning. Nothing too crazy, nothing to write home about, but sometimes it's good just to get but sometimes it's good just to have a nice little trade, you know. Remind yourself that this is how I should be trading, with the mindset that I'm in the driver's seat. I have control. I know what's going to be the outcome either way. If the stock ends up going back higher, I'm going to get out for my loss. If the stock goes to my point, if I can identify, you know, okay, there's buyers stepping in there, it's not breaking down, it's not looking like it wants to go lower, that instinct of like seeing that there's a buyer sitting there, seeing, you know, how the stock is moving, seeing how it's moving, seeing where that support is in the overall just kind of price action, being able to identify, you know, okay, maybe this isn't going to go all the way down like I was hoping for. Maybe this isn't going to go all the way down like we had planned. I'm in the green. I can minimize my risk here. There's a possibility this stock could bounce back. So I'm going to be careful here, basically, and I'm going to get out. I'm going to do what I got to do, and that's what I did today. Today on TEVA, it's not the biggest winner ever, not the craziest trade ever, but I felt pretty good overall about the trade itself, the actual mechanics of the trade, the execution. I felt good about that, and, you know, sometimes you just got to give yourself a little bit of a pat on the back. So there it is this morning, making a little bit of money on TEVA. If you guys haven't already, do me one big favor, hit that subscribe button.